What's up, everybody? I don't know exactly how this is going to work or if it's going to work, but I did a version of this in my class today, and I had been asked about this before my class, and then literally just got another email making the same request. And I actually get something like this, especially since folks have been hearing about the book coming out. I get a request like this several times a week, actually. Um, and I'll just just to be fair, without divulging anything, just to give you an example. This person said, having listened to you on Hard Knock Radio, shout out to Davey D and KPFK and Pacifica Radio. Anyway, but having listened to you on Hard Knock Radio explaining your book, The Myth of Black Buying Power, the myth and propaganda of Black buying power, to be exact, I found myself shouting at Roland Martin and his guests who are perpetuating the myth. They are convinced that Black people have enough money to bail Black businesses out during this pandemic. The California Black Chamber of Commerce has set up a website for Black people to donate money to Black businesses that are sole proprietors. Supposedly 95% of Black business are sole proprietorship. Thank you for busting the myth. We'll be glad when the media catches up with your book. You need to schedule an appearance on Roland Martin Unfiltered. End quote. So as I said, this is a regular request, and I appreciate it. And I appreciate, to be fair, I appreciate the role Roland Martin plays in the Black public political sphere. Or the Black public sphere, rather, and in Black politics and media. It's not a question of agreement or disagreement politically. It's an issue of just appreciating objectively the role and the relationship he has with his audience. But again, as objective and unbiased as I can be, this is the problem that I present in my book, and this is a problem that is presented with this exact immediate example with Roland Martin's Unfiltered show. So as I'm showing you here on his website, this is the front page of his website for the Unfiltered show, a lot of information about everything, how to support, etc. But if you come down here to the bottom, and this is something that is prevalent throughout Black commercial media, so this is not to particularly pick on Roland Martin's show, it's just this is the most prevalent example because, as he points out, he's the only daily Black news program. So it's relevant that, so this request comes up. So, but anyways, you scroll down here to the bottom of the page, you see here, as he's talking about the value of his show, it says here, quote, all of this presents a unique opportunity to bring the African-American community, which according to Nielsen wields 1.3 trillion in spending power, end quote. As I point out in the book, we go through this meticulously. The Nielsen reports are flawed. The conclusions they reach are flawed. The political interpretation of the claim is flawed. But specifically, the point here is that what Roland Martin is showing is that to particularly white commercial advertisers, but to all corporate ad buyers who spend roughly $600 billion a year in ad buys, that he can deliver an audience, not only numerically, but an audience that can afford to buy the products that are being promoted via his show or via his sponsors or via the broader apparatus of commercial advertising. This is where the myth is in part developed and promoted specifically by the Black commercial press to not only its Black audience, but its potential white corporate ad supporter sponsors to, again, create this idea that Black people have money that they can spend with white businesses. Not only is the number false, but as again I explained, the methodology behind the reports are flawed. But to the point I'm getting at here, it doesn't make logical sense that I would be invited to be critical of this concept to the very spaces that not only help produce the myth, but who quite honestly benefit from it by encouraging greater purchases of ads. So whether it's Roland Martin or any other Black commercial or commercial outlet, period, the likelihood of my engagement or a deep, meaningful engagement with this critique is just not likely because it is against all the interests involved. So I just wanted to put this together real quick. I hope this works and makes sense. Again, I mixwhatilike.org. Sign up for the May 25th virtual book launch party. The book is out. Please enjoy it. The Myth and Propaganda of Black Buying Power. Peace, everybody.